Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Weird Gear Chronicles. I am DM Angelo and this is the DM and Friends. Today we're going to be talking about the grappling hook. We've talked about different items like the 10-foot pole and iron spikes and chalk and marbles, but this is a lot heavier piece of equipment that we used to always carry with us in classic Dungeons and Dragons, old school. So if you're a modern player, you might be thinking, why would I need a grappling hook? Look at your sheet and say, why would I need that? I don't need that. Well, I have a 30-foot fly speed, and I can cast Misty Step or whatever, or teleport or something like that. Well, back in the day when you were down in the deep dark of classic advanced Dungeons and Dragons, verticality was a death sentence. If you couldn't get up or if you couldn't get down safely, you were stuck. Let's talk about why this heavy piece of iron is the ultimate tool in defying dungeon geometry. All right, well, let's look at the history of how Dungeons and Dragons was designed back in the 80s, right? So the dungeons were not flat. They were just rooms on this one particular level. They were architectural nightmares. You had missing staircases, high ledges, where snipers were out to get you. The grappling hook became a legendary piece because it was a non-magical way for the party to bypass the DM's vertical roadblocks. Think about how modern games handle this, right? You roll something like an athletics check, or you use a spell slot, right? But in classic AD&D, your characters didn't have endless mobility. If a pit trap opened up in front of you, you couldn't just jump it. The grappling hook gave the players a concrete tool to interact with the environment safely and directly. You didn't roll to see if your character could magically jump across. You used your player skill to find, a beam, throw the hook, and secure the line, and build a way over. It turned a death trap into a bridge, right? So practical uses. I came up with 4 different uses that I've seen in games. And then I'm going to, because I did a post that a lot of you guys answers, it's on my, I'm going to read from here after I tell you guys the 4 ways that I've seen them used in dungeons. So number 1, obviously climbing, right? So not everybody has the thieving ability to or skill to just scale a surface, right? So you have a group of fighters or a cleric, boom, you throw up the grappling hook. Now you have a secure way of climbing up or down, right? Another way is triggering traps 30 feet away or 50 feet away. If you have 50 feet of rope on it, right? And this is kind of one of my favorites too. Instead of you going with your 10-foot pole and maybe that trap's diameter, the radius is a lot bigger than 10 feet, right? That's the chances you took with a 10-foot pole. Well, throw that grappling hook, with the 50-foot rope, and maybe the trap goes off. So that's one way, triggering traps from far away. Another one that I thought of was really good was, securing an escape route, right? So let's say you're being pursued. Are you going to take the stairs? No, you're going to take the ledge. Well, how are you going to get down? You get down with the grappling hook and rope. Boom. Everybody, instead of climbing down, they slide down. Now you're fast, far away from the pursuers. I mean, I've seen it done. These are ways I've seen people use them in games. So another one is dragging objects or pulling things off of monsters. So I've seen a group where they threw a grapple and pulled something off of a belt of a giant. Ingenious way of using a grappling hook. Another way that I've seen is crossing streams and rivers that are fast moving in a dungeon, in a cavern or something. So you're crossing a swift subterranean river, right? So you don't just swim, right? You throw a hook across, snag it on something, and now you have a makeshift bridge or way across. So those are the 4 ways I've come up with. Now let's go to the comments on that last post, and I want to see what you guys came up with. So there's a lot of really good ones here. Let me open it up. Boom. Okay, so let me go to the top here. Sorry about that. So SW33N3Y says lethal lasso, right? Area defense tool when swung overhead. Non-magical telekinesis, hook an item and pull, works as a fine trap spell as well. I like that. Another one, Buster TN says, we used to take down, this is funny, it was literally one of my things that we used it to take down a giant by hooking the rope to a large rock and then throwing it, eventually hooking the giant's belt and pushing the rock off a cliff. It was a good time and way back in 1E. I believe it was during the G series module, Frost Giant, I believe. That's pretty cool. That's really cool, Buster. Drag says, pull that funny looking lever, chest, barrel, or other item detected from the cleric's second level fine trap spell, right? So the cleric found a fine traps, found a trap, and they hooked up the grappling hook on it and safely opened it with the grappling hook. Perfect way of doing it. Shellback says, look, he's talking about my picture. 14 Penfold says, never use one. Matthew Sherwin says, a big fish hook for what lies at the depths of a lake. The near dive. Captain Cook 999 says, obviously for climbing, but also skipping across something like a crevice. Yeah, making a makeshift bridge. It could be used for hooking something to pull up, right? You could pull up people also as they step. Pulling up people is a good way to trap. Yeah, so some of the same stuff. Also could be used as a boat, either as an anchor or pull another boat for boarding. Perfect. JTXG4D1 says, I used to climb a wall once. Also good for claw machine antics when using makeshift fishing hooks for big monsters in murky pools. Let me see, used for dragging a well. That was Paul Chatone. Yeah, there's a bunch of them in here. So there's a lot of different ways to use a grappling hook. And yeah, thank you guys, by the way, for putting that in the comments. So I want to talk about the logistics and the heavy metal problem, right? So because this is old school D&D, right? We have to talk about the logistics side. Carrying a grappling hook is a pain in the butt, right? So this isn't a modern high-tech, folding ninja hook, right? This is 4 pounds of solid blacksmith forged, iron, wrapped in 50 feet of rope, scratchy hemp rope, right? It's bulky, it's heavy, and if you tuck it in your packing correctly, it's going to rip your rations to shreds, probably. So let's talk also about the noise too. So if you're hanging it off your pack, you swing, a 4 pound piece of metal around your head and toss it into a stone ledge. What do you think happens when it hits? Clang. Right? It bounces 3 times, echoes down the shaft, lets every monster in the dungeon know that dinner is has arrived. You guys, right? So, it forces that beautiful classic risk versus reward dilemma, for the group, right? Maybe you're walking down the hall and it's swinging. I used to do this. I would 1 in 6 turns, I would roll something. If I rolled a 1 on a d6, something random would happen in the dungeon. It could be something similar to somebody loses something, or they make a lot of noise, or somebody pukes. Just some kind of random thing. You can do that for flavor. We'll talk more about that on another video. But that random thing could be it hits up against a wall, makes a loud sound. So, there is a negative side to it. And like I said, they're heavy, things like that. So keep those in mind too. So, all right, well, in closing, the grappling hook perfectly embodies, what this series is all about, right? It's about thinking in 3 dimensions. Right? It proves that you don't need a fly spell or teleportation spell to conquer a vertical layout of a dungeon. You just need a heavy piece of iron and some strong rope and a clear plan, right? So next time you're outfitting, your adventurer, and it's for you players, don't skimp out on your gear. Spend a couple gold pieces on a grappling hook and a good length of hemp rope. Keep it handy, because when the floor disappears under you, you're gonna want to be able to get down, right? All right, you guys. Well, next week, I'm moving on to an item that I think we've always, even non-clerics took this, and that's the holy water, flasks of holy water. We always took that, and I want to talk about that. I want to talk next week about how we used holy water and why it was on our character sheets. Because man, I cannot think of back in the old days. That was one of the lists on the equipment list. We always took it, and it came to so many different great uses. So, all right, you guys, this has been an absolute blast to do these little Weird Gear Chronicles, right? If you have an awesome story about the grappling hook saving your party, from a terrible fall, or a story about doing something crazy with it, or why you brought it. Put it in the comments. I absolutely love reading your stories and chatting back and forth with you. All right, you guys. Well, if you are enjoying the Weird Gear Chronicles, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with the rest of your group. And if you can and you're watching on mobile, hit the hype button. It's free. You can do it 3 times a week, and let's see what it does to the video. I've been told it gives it more exposure, I guess. So hit that hype button too. It's HYPE. All right, well, as always, I am DM Angelo. This is the DM and Friends YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself. Be good to each other. Keep gaming. And never forget that grappling hook. All right, you guys. Bye-bye.